Whack-a-mole number 140, Mazzy here. Thanks for visiting. I just did a video, which is my last video, and I got a lot of eyeballs on it, so thank you. But watch it if you haven't. My number one picks, my number ones from my ranking videos, so a ranking of my rankings. I did leave a couple out. I realized there was two videos I did on punk rock, and they were in a different segmented section, so I didn't have in my rankings, unfortunately. One was my top punk records, and this is what I picked. Now, it might be unusual. Some will feel it's not in the same punk vein as hardcore, but there's so many, punk, post-punk, pre-punk, proto-punk, poetic, beat poetry. This is an important album. This is my number one, Horses, Patti Smith, and this is 1975. I was all in on her. I've seen her over a dozen times over 40 years, and this was my number one in that video. So just as a kind of update, and then I did one on just UK punk bands, punk albums, my top ranking, my personal choice as my choice, not anyone else's choice, not critically acclaimed, but I think this is an appropriate one. This was my pick, and it's the debut Clash album. This is my UK import. So just wanted to get that out of the way because I forgot those. So 5 random picks. Whack-a-mole number 140. I have some videos coming up I'm working on. There's a couple reviews. There's a gear review, sort of an entry turntable review. People sent me a turntable, and I don't usually use gear things, but people ask what turntable if I want to get into vinyl. We'll see how I feel about that, and some other mix videos, etc. So 5 random pulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. God. This is basically my aerobicide. This is how I exercise. This is how I keep so svelte, so trim for my age. Okay. Flying Fish Records. This is Norman Blake, Tut Taylor, Sam Bush, Butch Robbins, the great Vassar Clements on violin, Dave Holland on bass, and Jethro Burns. This is a fantastic, almost like a newgrass album. Came out in 1974 is recorded. So came in 74, 75. Now, I recommend, and it's funny, I think maybe it was a Hoffman Force, and maybe it's Steve Hoffman himself. This is a highly recommended record to test out your stereo. I'm not always saying, well, actually, people do ask me, like, what's a good record to test out your stereo that sounds really grazing with acoustic instruments? This is it, and I highly, highly recommend you picking this album up if you really want something that's going to sound really good, that's not an overpriced, over wonky, heavy box set, 45 RPM audiophile record. This is something you can get cheap. Again, look at that. Look at this record. HDAS 701 is the number. You can find these actually relatively cheap, and this will sound magnificent. If you want good acoustic instruments, good bass, some good percussion, this is highly recommended. If you're not into newgrass, bluegrass music, this might be a good entry point to check out. Mid-70s. Highly recommended. My favorite band, one of my top 3 bands, the Kinks. This is a Reprise Records, and this is a pretty rare record. This is a promo only that was sent to radio stations and record buyers and reviewers, and it's called The Kinks, Then and Now and In Between on Reprise Records. It is this label. This is how it came out. It's limited. I don't know what these go for these days. But what this is, side 1 has a medley of early medleys of Louie Louie, You Really Got Me, I Need You. Then it has a Well-Respected Man, Dandy, Sunny Afternoon. It's got a great kind of intro promo view. And Warner Brothers and Reprise were doing those great Lost Leader records. Around that time, this came out. This is from 1969, I believe, yeah. So they really were trying to push the Kinks, and the Kinks did actually pretty well with Arthur, but not huge You know, they weren't this massive thing like some bands. Obviously, we haven't forgot the Kinks. God Save the Kinks. Side 2 has David Watts, Death of a Clown, Village Green Preservation, Big Sky, and it's got Waterloo Sunset it ends with, their best single record ever. So this is kind of a cool comp. Again, a radio-friendly, critic-only review. God Save the Kinks. Okay, this is an embarrassing record to show. And I think I got this from a promo, even though it's not Notch. I got this free from somewhere. I'm going to lose any cred I ever had in the world. This is the Lettermen's Greatest Hits. The Lettermen Greatest Hits. This is MOR vocal music. Their big hit that I remember that I actually kind of liked is this medley they do of Going Out of My Head and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. Schmaltzy as hell, arranged by Peter Botnick Jr., who did some schmaltzy soundtracks in the 70s. And this is 1973 comp. I'm embarrassed to show this. But see, be cool. Stay in school. Listen to music you like, not just the records that you get peer pressure for. So, you know, you realize this is one of my few albums early on in my, L, so it's halfway through almost, that doesn't even have a plastic sleeve to protect it, whatever that's about. I don't remember the last time I played this. Oh, there's a Beatle connection. I do cover Love, the John Lennon song. There you go. Theme from a Summer Place. Three-part harmony, schmaltzy as hell, over the top. You saw them on those schmaltzy TV shows in the 70s if you're of a certain age, the Lettermen. So I want a little bit of an easy thing. Now this record was a very popular record. Jennifer Warnes a lot, again, from a certain generation. If you ever watch the Smothers Brothers show, you'd see Tommy Smothers say, "And now, may I present Jennifer," this hippie kind of folk singer, pop singer, and she was on the Smothers Brothers show. Put out records under Jennifer Warnes. Because that's her name. What a shock. She also collaborated with Leonard Cohen, and this became a record that a lot of people who couldn't handle or didn't really care for Leonard Cohen's voice really grabbed onto. Also, this came out in 1986 on Cypress Records, and it's a really, really good record of Jennifer Warnes doing Leonard Cohen songs, all covers of Leonard Cohen songs. First We Take Manhattan, Bird on the Wire, Famous Blue Raincoat is the name of the album. And if you like female vocals, you like Leonard Cohen, maybe you don't like his voice, but you can't deny how great a songwriter and poet he was. This is a fantastic record. It's been reissued on various audiophile issues. This is an original copy that came out in '86. Love this record. So we got one more, right? Deface the Music, Utopia, Todd Rundgren, band he did. I'm thinking they did, 3 or 4 records? I don't know how many records. It was a band project he did. And to be honest with you, I was not and am not a big fan. This is a promo copy I got from Warner Brothers, so I did keep it. I like Todd Rundgren. To me, Todd Rundgren's an interesting cat. I think the guy is so friggin' talented. Amazing producer from XTC to, so many hit records. Meatloaf, right? So many hit records that he produced, and he has a good way of pulling the best out and how to edit and work with artists. I know there's a tempestuous thing with the XTC album with Andy Partridge. They had a yin yang, although that's one of XTC's best records. The song Grass and God, and I love that record. This is called Outstanding in their field, and I'm not sure how to really describe it. They had a little more fusion sound, a more heavy sound that, to me, Todd Rundgren sometimes gets in his own way. I like when he did way back, Hello, It's Me, the Runt album, his solo records on Bearsville Records. So Todd Rundgren is someone that is so talented, writes great songs. Wizard of True Star I like the double, Something Anything. album, and I like the covers record did. Faithful, that side one or one of the sides faithfully reproduces songs like If 6 Was 9 by Hendrix and Good Vibrations and Strawberry Fields by the Beatles. And it's really kind of a good project experimental record. This to me is almost too much. And I know people really love him. And again, I have that thing where sometimes he puts so much into it, it takes away. There's too much. It's like he can edit other people's work, but he's not good at editing himself. Just my opinion. Sometimes there's too many layers and too much going on. I need to really pull this out again and play. I mean, I did pull it out. I need to play it after this because I probably haven't listened to this album in 20 years. And this came out in 1980, so it's a 42-year-old record. So I'm going to play this now. Obviously, there's a little bit of the Meet the Beatles influence on that cover. And Todd Rundgren did tour with the Ringo Starr All-Star Band several times. So that's it in my whack-a-moles. I'm going to go upstairs right now, put this record on, see what I think. Maybe I'll report back if I feel differently in terms of my feelings on Utopia. Thanks for watching again. This is just a quick interim whack-a-mole number 140. We'll see you next time. I'm going to say it right now just because. Subscribe. Push the subscribe button. Don't push the warning bell. I don't want to bother you. Push the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. Take care. Bye. Okay, I just had to do a little addendum here on that Utopia record. I forgot that's the one they did, Deface the Music, where it's very Beatlesque, very Merseyside sound. So I'm digging it. It's not the other Utopia part that I didn't like. In a way, in my mind, I was thinking about like Tin Machine with Bowie, where it's kind of that thickness with the soupy Sales Sons, the Sales Brothers. But this is a fun Utopia record. So I just thought I'd throw that in now because someone's going to comment, no, Mazzy, you got the wrong record. So I don't know if you can hear it up in the background. It's still playing. I played it once all the way through, and now I'm starting it again because it's got that harmonica like Lennon was playing in early Beatle days. So, okay, Todd, have some fun with it. Take care.